I believe went 2-0 in the pool yesterday, but still has a few matches to play today. So, again, once you get into the round robin format, there's a whole lot of silly stuff that can happen with regards to tiebreakers.
Oh, yeah.
So every game, every set is going to matter at this point. So, if you're Mars, you're coming in with a bit of a fresh slate because you haven't really played anybody yet. So, you still have some wiggle room there. Where if you're Tomberry, you're definitely feeling a little bit of the pressure right now.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad you brought up the tiebreaker situation because that is very common when it comes to these round-robin pools. Obviously, if it's a two-way tie, the best way to handle that in this situation would be of going head-to-head. But then if there's a three-way tie, the player that has the most games under their belt are the ones that are going to be able to succeed in that tiebreaker. So we're going to get started here with the first set of the day. Koopa, I'm super excited. We got to see so much action. Mars making it into this pool, and now already starting off strongly versus Tomberry.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch here. Again, Snake, a character that loves to control, the area immediately around him, interrupt these vertical combos with ZSS, with, the explosions from the grenades. It's going to be interesting to see Mars kind of play around this. He does play a little bit of Snake himself, so, I'm sure in practice he kind of understands what Tomberry's going to be looking for, but in execution, we'll see how it all pans out here.
And it's interesting, too, because Tomberry also has ZSS experience to an extent here, of course, still repping the Snake, but he's had some of that ZSS practice, the Pokemon trainer practice, too, and I like the way that you also brought up how this matchup is going to play a factor into, because, of course, Mars does love that Zair, and that's going to affect the way that the grenade pool is going to try to approach Mars. You're going to have to expect that grenade pool to probably get blown up here, but you can see Mars already dealing with it, sending Tomberry off to the stage. Yeah,
and you already see how Tomberry is trying to deal with the Zair pressure. He's utilizing Snake's crawl a lot there, so look for that to be a factor, as we move on in the set here. Maybe see Mars try to approach more with landing Nair instead of trying to approach with Zair. But gets the grab right there. Still in a pretty comfortable lead right now.
Yeah, what's interesting is Tomberry's been playing by the ledge this entire time, right below the ledge too. Nonetheless, nice trade here as he is able to finally get to center stage with a little cheeky C4 right there, right below the platform. And you have to be wary of that because sometimes when the camera panel just kind of pans away, you have to understand where that C4 is going to be placed.
Yeah, it's kind of like a found footage movie. You never know what's going to come out around the corner. But yeah, especially against, the frailer character of ZSS, you definitely want to be careful. Again, Snake nearing the danger percent. The Plasma Whip will come through. Mars getting first blood here in game one.
Yeah, 111% though on Mars, and look how he's playing on top of these platforms. He's playing this patiently. He knows he's got the lead, but he's not trying to overextend. He's just trying to find an opportunity like right there where he was able to follow up with the Zair.
Yep, again, kind of waiting out the grenade explosion, knowing that as long as he can get through that, he has a pretty clear shot at hitting Snake. Nice anticipation right there on the tech roll in.
I love the way that Mars is playing this. He's going to get hit by that. He's going to lose that stock at 146% after hit. But overall, this pressure that Mars has been putting on, been playing very passive-aggressively.
Yeah, again, he knows when to put the brakes on as well as when to, hit the gas pedal for sure. And again, Tomberry, doing as good of a job as he can to try to, avoid the long range of ZSS. But again, Mars doing a good job, picking and choosing when, he's going to be able to engage here.
We were to re-grab the grenade here too. Just gets sent on top of that platform. 126% here for Tomberry. The way he's also been able to try to crouch right below Mars now, just trying to find the opportunity with that back air, but Mars being right underneath him, ready to scoop him up with that.
Yeah, this is a factor in a matchup that we could see be a big factor later, Vicky. ZSS being able to, chase Snake in the blast zone where other characters might not be able to with that high second jump. So it's going to make things maybe a little bit tricky for Tomberry to recover high, but that back air, dare I say, it's pretty nice.
Oh, yeah.
Able to get the job done there.
Been consistently able to close out a lot of those stocks with that back air too. Okay, now we currently see Mars doing the Mars thing. I like how he didn't overextend actually. Tomberry trying to go for a high recovery this time around since he's been trying to recover from below the ledge at the very start of this game.
All right. Oh, okay. The single jab knocking Mars out of the boost kick, or excuse me, the flip jump, but able to get back to the ledge regardless. Still holding on to the stock here. Now we're at the 160% threshold, so all Tomberry needs is a grab. That was, oh my God, that was scary.
He homed it on him too. He was looking for a long time, trying to be cheeky with it. He does manage to land it. Only 64% though, so very doable here for Tomberry.
Yeah, 100%. Again, Snake, when he's in advantage and able to generate offense, he's one of the best characters in the game at being able to, do so quickly. So, we'll see if Tomberry is going to be able to work some of that magic here. But right now, Mars doing a good job in keeping Snake in harm's way.
Oh, wow, knew he wanted to roll at a disadvantage there. He was feeling the pressure by the ledge since he knew that Mars wanted to try to contest him there. So Mars recognizing the situation, taking game number one. Still very close, though. Tomberry was at a disadvantage for a while, but still was able to maintain his composure.
Yeah, no, again, ZSS, one of the best in the business at, being able to chase you vertically, again, with that high second jump, a top 3 jump in the game. So, with those big hitboxes in up air and neutral air, it does make it a little bit awkward for Tomberry to try to, engage and move around that. Like we mentioned, he was doing a pretty good job, whether it's utilizing the crouches, making so that this air pressure is a little bit less than it usually is. But still, Mars able to stay, true to the game plan, able to get things done. So.
What was really interesting was the way that he was able to use the Nikita a few times, especially when he was able to take Mars' second stock there, being cheeky and trying to actually kind of use that Nikita as insurance to get out of getting grabbed. He had used it a few times previously before it actually landed, where he was trying to keep it away from Mars as a way to force Mars to respect it there. But with those platforms, Mars was unfazed. He was able to actually stay on top of those platforms to find an opening without being impatient.
Yeah, excellent stuff right there from Mars. Again, you want to start the day off on the right foot.
Everyone's waking up, Koopa.
Yeah.
There you go. That's why this is our first set, but Mars looking like it's just another day at work for him.
Yeah, no, again, definitely, now that he's in the mix, definitely one of the favorites to potentially win here. So, we'll see how things shake out here. Mars,
okay.
Okay. All right. Get a little too much dip on your chip there, buddy. Come on.
So close to the blast, so hey, if you find the opportunity, it's there into the dash attack. That's something that Tomberry's been trying to avoid this whole time. Now another high recovery here from Tomberry, having that opportunity. And he has to do that too, because in this matchup, you have to be wary of where Mars wants to try to shark you up by the blast zone. Just like now, where you can see him just trying to go in for that double jump, also not trying to commit until he just lands right back on the platform, so that way he can try to catch Tomberry's landing move. But with that back air, only taking 25%, looking great here in the second game for Mars.
Yeah, there's, one of the common talking points that ZSS does have these windows where it's really hard for her to secure a kill, but Mars has been doing a really good job converting at the percents where it matters. Back air being one of the reasons for that. So again, you love to see a strong start here in game 2.
He wanted the grenade to actually follow from that. Any percent, right here, Mars feeling it. Great parry coming in, but Tomberry just trying to find his footing back. Great double parry now coming in from Tomberry, but still is not able to really get anything started. Has that rising back air, but overall you can see that the momentum is definitely here in Mars' favor, and he is very happy to just play into this pacing where Tomberry, he has the stage control, but none of these grenades between the C4, great duck right there. That's exactly actually what you were talking about with Tomberry's recognition of the matchup.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the sideways hitbox
of
up tilt just not as big as we expected it to be right there. So Tomberry unfortunately going to miss that right there. Whip grab there from Mars, going to get punished by the dash attack. So Tomberry having a bit of an opening, but in danger of being looped here, lapped here in percent. And Mars, again, damn. That was nice, man.
Koopa was just like, yep, it really do be like that, especially close to the blast zone like that. That's why Tomberry was recovering below the ledge so often in the first game, and Mars actually was not really able to get a follow-up other than that pressure like that, knowing that he was gonna roll back. Didn't roll this time around. Mars just waiting patiently. Nikita is not gonna land that shot here, but with these backers and these grabs, it's just absolutely insane to see the amount of pressure that Mars is putting on. He has not lost his stock, still 131%.
Yeah, how do you approach a girl with a frame run jab?
True.
Again, goes for the low recovery. And again, Tomberry forced to go for that because Mars has been doing such a good job, getting out there to punish the high one. So, Tomberry just trying to, throw a different look at him, maybe try to mix him up a little bit, but still in the danger zone here. Goes for the back throw, almost enough to kill ZSS, my gosh.
I think we want to just reset the C4 too. That's why he just tried to blow up when he had the opportunity. But at 155, you have to get something started here. 122 now for Tomberry on his last stock, second game situation. But Mars catching the get-up again to close out the game.
Yeah, that was a statement game for sure from Mars. Again, I watched a lot of his sets yesterday, and it is stressful for ZSS. Sometimes you do have to really be playing on point, for everything to be running smoothly. Sometimes there are some doldrums where she has some rough matchups, just because she still has her tether grab. There's still some issues there. Her pressure game isn't as good as it used to be, due to some updates throughout the game's history. But still, looking awfully solid in that second game. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest difference that we had seen from the first game into that second game is the fact that Tomberry wanted to try to mix up his recovery options more often, but it just did not work for him. When you have Mars sharking you off the stage, which is obviously what Mars does a lot. He likes to get aggressive. He likes to take advantage of you being a disadvantage like that, but he will send himself off the stage, and he had no reason not to. He had the lead regardless for those first 2 stocks that he was able to take very solidly from Tomberry. But Tomberry, recognizing that, he did start recovering down below the ledge, and that was when Mars wasn't able to get that much out of those back airs.
Yeah, so we will see if the switch back to Battlefield makes a difference for Tomberry. Again, looking down the barrel of going down 3-0 here, but again, you know, it's still a long day, like we mentioned. There's still a lot of Smash to be played, so let's see what can eventually happen here. Ooh, grenade blowing up in the bubble. You do have to be cautious of that.
Oh, nice early stock here. 107 for Tomberry, looking already way stronger in comparison to the first 2 games here. Tomberry recognizing, all right, maybe the stage swaps was exactly what we needed, including the music swap too. We always love that Persona soundtrack coming through to try to wake us up a little bit.
We love a music counter pick in this house, for sure. So, like we mentioned, Tomberry coming alive here, continuing to add on to this lead here. Mars able to connect that backer right there. Once again, going for the high recovery. And there we go, forced to air dodge back to the ledge.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Just came a little short from getting onto the ledge right there. He's been air dodging onto the ledge the entire time to avoid a lot of that pressure that Mars sets up, especially with those back airs or flip kicks to try to maintain control over that ledge and try to get a ledge jump too. But, oh, nice crawl back. All right, Tomberry. He's been doing that so consistently, and it's been helping him so much in this matchup.
Yeah, no, again, you know, in most instances, characters being able to crouch and crawl doesn't really do like too much for you, but Snake just gets down so low to the ground that it really, you know, does add a little wrinkle into this matchup that I'm sure Mars has had to account for. And he's done a good job navigating it so far, but right now, Tomberry doing a good job. Didn't hold on to this lead.
Oh, and he managed to destroy the Cypher too, but Tomberry is ready. Every single time Tomberry's had to recover low like this, he still manages to make it back again. That is why he's made some of those adjustments.
All right, you see Mars once again playing on the ledge here. Trying to utilize that X factor of the flip kick, being able to take stocks at almost virtually any percent.
Let's get back here again. Directional air dodge to get right to the ledge, but the double jump into the C4, knowing that Mars wanted to contest him by the ledge right there. And the C4, of course, on these platforms will scoop you up from right underneath. Space Girl, go boom. Go boom boom, and she is gone out of there too. Nice parry. I like the way that Tomberry's been playing this way more patiently, but Mars gonna be able to do the ZSS thing, be able to follow up with that up B too to try to close out that stock. 39% though, a lot closer of a game than we've seen within the last 2 games.
Yeah, no, if you're Mars, you're definitely, you know, looking to do exactly what you just did right there. You know, take a stock early, not allow Snake to run away with the game, because he's definitely one of those characters in a game where you don't have a lot of wiggle room when things are generating well for him. Look at that, he's already at 73%. He's been back on the stage for like 20 seconds.
It's intense too, because you also have to make sure that you keep yourself actually in the game. You're going to be playing so many sets throughout the day in comparison to a lot of these group contestants that were able to play yesterday. Halfway through that group, you see him going all the way down, but that grenade was great, but you can't make it back from that here. Mars on fire with a nice quick 3-0, but Tomberry in that last game, a download was happening.
Yeah, no, again, you definitely saw signs of